Peace and blessings be upon you all. The question is, when we look at Muslim societies today versus non Muslim societies, the non Muslim ones often seem better. Why is that? Wasif Ali Wasif answered this by saying that the national character and identity of a Muslim society should be close to the principles taught by Islam. Some people observe, as you also do, that Muslims generally appear somewhat distant from their Islamic identity and character. Let's assume this observation is correct. Then it becomes even more important for some of us to reflect on it and present the true Islamic character. The observation creates two different kinds of effect. The observation is that Muslims do not demonstrate the kinds of character that others seem to show. You keep preaching that truth belongs to us, yet others are the ones who actually speak the truth. So, this is the situation. Now, what impression or effect does this create? Some people will say, leave Islam, while others will say, this means we need to reform ourselves even more. We should present Islam properly, review it, renew it, and reflect it sincerely. It is in response to this very question that we sit before you today in this gathering. The fundamental question is, in this global community, the worldly system, as an ummah, do we hold any position in terms of character or not? Before answering this, we must at least try. Join us in this effort for us and for yourselves as well. Your question is valid. Things aren't as they should be. We believe that 2 centuries of slavery have left deep marks on us. The foreign rulers created within us a class of people who were weak in character but strong in terms of authority. For example, those who betrayed the community were rewarded with lands. The British did this too. They elevated community sellers and religion sellers to pedestals. As a result, selling the communities in trust became routine. So the British or the masters empowered those groups who sold out the nation, who sold character, who sold religion. As a result, those groups kept ruling and corruption of faith continued, and character kept being sold. They had so much authority that others could not challenge them. Now, to undo this situation, those who hold any form of authority today need to act. But first, let's try to find it out. What is authority? A person's appearance is authority. Their personality is authority. Knowledge is authority. Intellect is authority. Even a small piece of land is a form of authority. There are many kinds of authority. If you observe even a simple example, take a partridge. If one bird is locked in a cage, the other walks behind it automatically. You don't need to cage the second bird. It follows on its own. This too is a kind of authority. The one in the cage has forgotten freedom. That is also authority. Authority works in many ways. You will notice something else too. Often, the person who claims to hold character actually lacks it, while the one who listens ends up adopting it. This also happens. So either we wipe out this nation and bring a new one, or we reform it. This is where the observation stops. The decision should be that this nation has lost its character. And when character dies, a nation dies. Because character is the nation. Therefore, either the nation should be erased or it should be given another chance. I believe you will agree that it deserves another chance. So the Muslim world, or at least the Muslims of Pakistan, or even a small group among them, should be given a chance to regain the character they have lost, just as others have adopted it and shown its effects. Seeing others, you say, amazing, we are Muslims, yet we are the ones who only talk. So Muslims deserve one more chance. If you believe they deserve another chance, then begin acting to answer this question. Let us build our character so that we do not lie. Let us establish truthfulness and show that this religion began with truth and trustworthiness. So keep this religion rooted in honesty and trust. If even one group, one class, or one person among you decides to live according to the teachings of this religion and actually does so, then this question will eventually find its answer. The reason is simple: pleasure, indulgence, comfort. The real issue is that Muslims do not think about the hereafter. Muslims have turned religion into a system they are not fully willing to follow. Until and unless a person fears accountability, their action remains corrupt. When they realize this life is temporary and that they will be held accountable afterwards, God will say, "You will be brought before me," and I will say, "This is the day you used to deny." When a person understands this, God will have mercy. So we must try again to become the answer to this question. This is not a question to be answered with words. It must be answered through character. I have observed this myself. There are still people today and groups who feel this deeply. And such people, by asking these questions, are actually voting in our favor. This question itself is a feeling. And who asks it? Someone who feels. He says, non Muslims have honesty, but we don't. When this awareness awakens, when we feel the loss, that itself is the beginning of the path. He asks, why don't we have honesty? And then he asks, how do we regain it? He looks at the past and says, this is the way to regain it. When should we start? Today. With what steps? Today. To whom? Among the people of today. This is where the work starts. When the feeling arises, effort follows, and then action appears. It is not true that honesty exists only among non-Muslims and not among believers. There is no war between Islam and non-Muslims. The real conflict is between character and those who have lost it. Whoever has character deserves praise. Whoever doesn't deserves pity. If character is restored, it is by God's grace and the beginning is possible. Effort must be made regardless. The person with authority is accountable because authority makes him a role model. People begin to follow him. The British made the powerful people characterless, or rather, they gave authority to those without character. So, you must try that those in authority also have character. Authority comes in many forms. The greater one's influence, the greater one's accountability. A person lying in a neighborhood, his lie is small. One who lies in a gathering, his lie is larger. One who lies to a nation, his lie becomes massive. And the one who lies before the word, his lie is as big as the word. So, accountability corresponds to the level of authority. Always remember, your accountability matches your authority. The greater the authority, the greater the accountability. O God, please send blessings upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and upon the family of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as you sent blessings upon Ibrahim alayhi salam and the family of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Indeed, you are praiseworthy and glorious. Thank you very much.